I am now closer to the border, near to the city Mukachevo, because I have a baby and we decided to move further from the war and the conflict situation in Kyiv because it's really dangerous. And now we are feeling much safer here and still helping to the community and to the army as much as possible.
Tell us about the journey. When was it that you took the decision to leave Kyiv with your child and take the road?
So the situation was much harder than we expected. We thought that it will be not lasting for long. Then we decided, since it's safe to move with the car, we decided to go, but it's really complicated because you can have only 20 liters gas or benzene on the gas station. So the road from our hometown Kyiv to here took us about 3 days. And it's complicated also with the accommodation because a lot of people leave their home and accommodation in Kyiv and the region nearby. But still we managed to do so. And in 3 days we are already here.
Who did you leave behind?
I leave all my relatives because they are decided to stay at home. Some of them are decided to join the army and territorial security. And we are here with my baby only. We are not leaving further because we know that we can be useful right now here. Maybe soon we will consider the option to move forward. Depends on the situation and escalation.
When you say move forward, that means moving away from Ukraine, trying to cross the border, either to Romania or to Poland, or maybe coming to Israel, like so many Ukrainians?
About Israel, we have complicated issues because recently we heard that it's not allowed for Ukrainians to enter Israel without specific permission. But yes, we consider maybe option of Romania and other European cities because we understand that now the economy should start working and it's time for us also to become the
We're have some difficulties there on the line with Olga, so let's try and work on that for a minute. Do we have Olga with us? Should we give it another attempt? Here. Yeah, Olga, we had some difficulties on the line. So you were saying that you were considering maybe crossing the border to one of the European countries since Israel makes it harder for Ukrainians to immigrate here. I do want to ask you about the policy of Israel, and I understand that you have been here before. What do you make of Israel's immigration policy towards Ukrainian refugees?
As far as I know, it was allowed to cross the border easily, and we don't have the visa regime. But recently, they applied the visa to enter, not the visa exactly, but the specific permit to enter the country. And without this permit, it's not allowed to get to the plane. But I hope that the Israel government soon will change this option because there are tight connections between Israeli and Ukrainian, and we receive a lot of help and support from Israeli governments as well as the NGOs inside. And for the European countries, we get more option to be inside and to get specific help, at least accommodation, specific money allowance for living inside the countries. So it's easier for us to go to the European Union.
It's day 21 of the war, and I do want to ask you, what's going on in your head? Is there a part of you that already got used to the fact that there is war going on? Do you manage to get any work done or read a book or do anything that's not dealing with the war?
Actually, everything we do now is supporting the Ukrainian army, supporting the people who are more in need than us. We work closely on the borders. We accept the humanitarian help. We work even with my baby on the specific wardrobes where we collect the stuff, where we can do specific tents for our Ukrainian army. So we do everything we could for the army as well. Now it's time to back to work, as I said before, and it's time to start our economy raising. So that's why we're returning to our jobs, regular jobs, the one we had before the war. And actually now we are initiating the campaign with Israel where we try to connect Israeli businesses and to help to specific businesses in Ukraine. We work with the, let's say, gastro business. So all the restaurants that were restaurants before the war, now they're cooking for the army, they're cooking for the people in need, and that's why we need specific donations and specific help to make them doing this for a longer time. There are a lot of other works and companies that transfer to the army needs. So that's like a fashion. Now they're doing the textile help and specific clothes to the army. So that's why we also try to support them and to make a specific donation to fundraise to make them doing this for a long time, as well as a lot of people, they are already, they stayed without jobs. They don't know how to survive and they still need to support. That's why we also try to work for big businesses to make them be alive for a long time and be able to pay the salaries at least. So we receive a lot of humanitarian aid for the people in need, but the people who are like a working class, they also need the support. That's why we're still in Ukraine as well, managing how to do this. And about them, how we get used to this, unfortunately, yes. Like in Israel, we get used that it's a war, it's a long and wasting, brutal invasion of Ukraine. It won't stop in a days. That's why we need to rethink what's happening and to be much more positive than we are and try doing everything we can do here.
Okay. Olga, I wish you good luck in your efforts there on the border, the humanitarian work that you're doing, and also in helping the Ukrainian economy recuperate and stay strong amid those difficult days of war and invasion. Thank you very much, Olga Stoloiarchuk, for being with us. Toda raba. Thank you.